Hi, tonight we're going to make my mom's shells and Hamburg casserole. For this one, I'm going to use the 12-inch butcher. So there's what they look like. Black and catfish got nice crust. Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, I grew up calling that shells and Hamburg in the oven, and it just rolls off my tongue that way, and I have to think about it um, that it is really a casserole first. So um, we're going to make my mom's shells and Hamburg casserole. It's probably like an American chop suey, a goulash type of thing. I don't know how to best describe it. It's a very comfort meal sort of thing, and it is not what I initially had in mind for tonight. I really was going to do some shrimp and scallop skewers, but my mom, she's not doing very well, and she's been on my mind a lot since yesterday, so I just thought it'd be kind of fitting to make this. It was one of my childhood favorites, and it's something up until recently she would still make for church gatherings or whatever. If there was some kind of potluck, it was always one of her contributions for that kind of stuff. So it's what we're going to make tonight for our camp dinner. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm just going to cook. Overall, I'm going to assemble it the same, and then we're just going to cook it in the Dutch oven instead of a traditional oven. Okay, so to get started, I've got to fry up. I've got a pound of ground beef, thickest ground chuck, and I got half a pound of bulk Italian sausage, and we're going to fry that up first. And then we will also got a pound of shells that we need to cook al dente, so I'll get it started after we get the meat started. So my mom, I am sure, has tweaked this thing over the, oh man, I was born in the 60s, so as long as I know, but the last 40, 50 years, so I'm sure in the beginning it was really just something simple like a can of tomatoes, box of macaroni, and a pound of Hamburg. And somehow it's morphed a little bit, which is all fine and dandy because it's really good. And so this is the last recipe she wrote down for me. So it is as most recent of a rendition as it's going to be, I think. Well, with the exception of I used fire roasted tomatoes and she did not. Alright, so I'm going to trade these out. Let the water catch up to the meat, and then we'll add our peppers and onions that we diced up earlier to the meat. I've also got a garlic diced up, well two cloves of garlic diced up. We'll add that in a little bit. We don't want to overcook the garlic. Just mix this up real good. Let the onions and peppers sweat down. Hopefully by then the pasta water is at least boiling and we get the pasta going. Alright, so our pasta water is coming up to a boil. So this takes the whole pound of shells. Is it still a pound these days? Yes, it's still a pound. So do that. The burger's for the most part done too. I'm going to probably off camera find a way of draining some of that grease off. It wasn't pretty the last time I tried to do it on camera. So anyhow, we got 8 or 9 minutes to wait for the pasta to cook. And drain that off. Assemble everything else and then get it going. Alright, so the pasta's about done. Got most of the grease drained off of the burger. Add our garlic real fast. Now we get most of the grease drained off, we can season the meat some. So bear with me while I find things. A little salt. A little black pepper. That comes out fast. Not a lot of this at all, because a little bit goes a long way. A little Italian seasoning. And it's hiding. There it is. A little basil. Of course, all these are to your own likings and to your own flavor profile. Okay, so we're just going to heat these through a little bit, but keep the juice. got a regular can of diced tomatoes with onion, celery, and green pepper. I don't think you can ever taste those things though. Probably one of the ones that you can notice it missing more than you notice it there. And it sounds like the roof's caving in. We're camped underneath an oak tree and it's dropping acorns left and right. So, and got a can of fire roasted tomatoes with garlic. So we'll just let that kind of heat up because it's not going to stay there long. I don't think just yet that they're pumping up with it though. No, I don't feel like it. Close, but a few more minutes. Okay, so the shells are done. Burger's been done, so I'll go ahead and shut these off. Pardon me, I will be right back. We're going to drain. Oops. We're going to drain the pasta. So what we're going to do, because we don't have very good lighting in here, is try not to make too much of a mess, but we're going to just mix everything right here into this bowl. And I got coals started outside already, so what we'll do is we'll mix it up here and then get the Dutch oven set over top of the coals. I'll readjust the camera so you can at least see everything better. There you go. So we'll just kind of stir this together. So one other thing about this, if it does not look like the tomatoes themselves produce enough liquid, I like to use a V8 to add a little bit more liquid to it. My mom just used regular tomato juice, but anyhow, you want to, while it's baking, you want to make sure there's enough liquid in there to keep the pasta from drying. Oops, I completely forgot to make mention of it. When you add the tomatoes and the juice to it, you're also supposed to add a little bit of brown sugar, which I did not, so I will be right now, and then stirring that in while it's still warm. And then a little bit of what Mom calls the secret ingredient. About a tablespoon. So there it is. And we'll just pour that all in there. Yay. Get as much of all that in there as we can. Hate to see any of it go to waste. I am going to add a little bit of liquid, yes. Yep, okay. I'm not used to the V8s hissing at me. Alright. Alright, I'm going to arrange them, but I need to add some butter. So. And almost a whole stick of butter. Alright, so we'll let that heat through for about half an hour. And then we should be eating. There's your plate.
got a scooper upper?
Yes.
Oh, there.
How much for the cockle? I mean for the crisp.
Oh, salt. I'll have to get a salt.
Yeah, there's some in the tent.
Okay.
Go ahead and get some. So, there's what we got. It's not super pretty, but it's a childhood favorite. It's something my mom always made for us. Probably a Depression era meal, comfort meal, poor person meal, but it was great stuff.
I don't think we ever replaced the salt, did we?
Now, there's some salt in there.
Is there?
Yeah, want me to get it?
No. I will find it. Ooh.
The glasses are steamed up. So. There we go. This I can tell you is going to be hot. I can feel it on the bottom of the plate. Beautiful. A little bit of Parmesan cheese.
Salt?
Yeah. Pepper?
Oh, I didn't bring the pepper. I'll go get the pepper.
No, you're fine.
Mmm. Mmm.
Too much salt?
Yeah.
No, it's possible.
Well, yeah. This is like the best you've ever made this.
And a little bit of black pepper, but I know it comes out fast, so. So let's see how we did.
It's awful. You should save it all for me.
Well, that was good. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's good though. All the little flavors meld together good. Simple as it is, it's just a comforting sort of dish, you know. So it's one of my favorite things my mom used to make for us when we were growing up. I can remember asking for it if I was sick. I can remember asking for it if just had a long day. What do you want to eat? You know, shells and Hamburg in the oven. Shells and Hamburg in the oven. So, she made it a lot for us. Probably in the end because it was cost effective, but it's got a lot of good memories. So, anyhow, thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon and sharing my mom's shells and Hamburg casserole. I'll put the recipe up after this exit. Thank you.
It's very good.
Bye.